In a serene monastery atop a mist-shrouded mountain lived a wise monk named Master Jiro. Renowned for his wisdom, people sought his guidance. Among his disciples was Taro, a young monk struggling with negativity. Taro was often engulfed in doubt and fear, unable to escape his negative thoughts. One morning, as dawn kissed the mountain peak, Taro approached Master Jiro. "Master," Taro sighed, "my mind is a battlefield. I can't silence the negative voices within. How do I overcome this darkness?" Master Jiro smiled and led Taro to a tranquil pond at the monastery's edge. The water was still and mirror-like, reflecting the sky's gentle colors. "Observe the water," Master Jiro instructed. Taro watched his reflection dance upon the surface, distorted by the slightest breeze. "Your mind," the master continued, "is like this pond. When disturbed, it loses its tranquility." "But master," Taro interjected, "how do I restore my mind to that natural state?" Master Jiro picked up a pebble and handed it to Taro. "Throw this pebble into the water," he instructed. Taro hesitated, then tossed the pebble into the pond, creating ripples. Just as the ripples disturbed the water, Master Jiro said, "Your negative thoughts disturb your peace. But notice how, in time, the pond returns to its stillness. Be patient with yourself, Taro. Embrace each negative thought without judgment. Then let it pass," the master advised. "Focus on your breath, your anchor in moments of turmoil. Your mind, like the pond, will find its calm." Weeks turned into months as Taro practiced the gentle art of breathing and observation. Slowly, he learned to accept rather than fight his negative thoughts. With each passing day, Taro's heart grew lighter, and the inner storm gradually subsided. One serene evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Taro returned to the pond. This time, gazing at the still water, he saw not just his reflection, but a reflection of peace. Taro smiled, understanding that true tranquility was not the absence of negative thoughts, but the mastery of letting them go. Once in a secluded mountain monastery, there was a young monk named Tenzin. Tenzin was known for his dedication, but his spirit was burdened by a recent failure. His task was to cultivate a vegetable garden for the monastery, but despite his efforts, the field remained dry and barren. He felt the weight of disappointment from himself and those around him, his heart heavy with the idea of letting others down. One morning, dejected and on the verge of giving up, Tenzin approached the wise elder monk for guidance. The elder, a man of few words and profound wisdom, listened patiently to Tenzin's tale of woe. After a thoughtful pause, the elder proposed a walk through the surrounding woods. As they walked, the elder began to recount a story. "When I was young like you, I too was assigned the task of cultivating our shared lands. But what I did not know was that beneath the surface lay a bed of stubborn rock. I toiled in frustration, seeing no fruit for my labor, just as you do now." He stopped and picked up a small stone, showing it to Tenzin. "I saw this not as a failure, but as an opportunity to understand the earth better. I tried different spots, drinking in each layer of the earth, learning the rhythm of the rain and the strength of the sun. With time, I realized that to truly yield a bountiful harvest, I first needed to observe and understand what lay beneath. Eventually, I found a place where the soil was rich and the sun ample." Tenzin listened intently, the elder's words slowly seeping into his mind. They returned to the monastery, and Tenzin stood at the edge of his garden, pondering the lesson he had just received. Instead of seeing his barren field as a symbol of defeat, Tenzin now saw it as a chance to explore different techniques, learn about the land, and develop patience. With renewed vigor, Tenzin began to experiment with different seeds and approaches, digging deeper to understand the soil's needs and waiting for the right conditions. Seasons passed, and gradually his garden began to flourish. Vegetables grew in abundance, fed by Tenzin's newfound resilience and insight. In embracing failure as a step towards growth and learning, Tenzin not only transformed a barren field into a thriving garden, but also himself into a patient and wiser monk. He learned that failure was not the end, but merely a part of the journey toward success. His story became a lesson for many young monks, teaching that in every failure there lies the seed of success, just waiting to be nurtured. In the heart of the ancient Shaolin Temple, nestled in the misty mountains, lived a young monk named Li Wei. With the sunrise, he practiced martial arts and meditation under the watchful eye of Master Jin, who was known for his wisdom and patience. Li Wei was devoted and hardworking, but he was frequently discouraged by his numerous failures in mastering the art of balance. One day, after yet another failed attempt to balance on a single bamboo stick, Li Wei sat in the courtyard with his head hung low. "Master, why do I fail, no matter how hard I try?" he asked, his voice tinged with frustration. Master Jin smiled gently and motioned Li Wei to follow him. They walked silently to the temple garden, where a vast grove of bamboo swayed serenely in the breeze. Master Jin pointed to a particularly tall bamboo and said, "Do you know why bamboo can grow so high?" Li Wei shook his head, eager to hear the master's insight. Before a bamboo becomes so tall and strong, it spends years growing its roots deep into the earth, Master Jin explained. It does not hurry. It does not despair during its early years when it remains seemingly small and weak. Each failure you face is like the bamboo growing its roots. Li Wei pondered over these words, letting them sink into his heart. He understood that failure was not an end but a path to dig deeper, to prepare for greater heights. Master Jin added, "Failure is a wise teacher, Li Wei. Embrace it, learn from it, and let it fuel your growth." From that day on, Li Wei looked at his failures differently. Instead of being defeated, he embraced them as lessons and opportunities to improve. He practiced diligently, embracing each setback as a chance to strengthen his core, just like the bamboo. Years passed, and Li Wei grew not only in skill, but also in wisdom and understanding. His roots deepened, and eventually his skills soared, just as the bamboo reaches towards the sky. Li Wei understood that persistence and patience would inevitably lead him to success. The tale of Li Wei and the bamboo became a cherished story in the temple, a testament to overcoming failure with perseverance and inner strength. It was a lesson that success is not about never falling, but about rising every time you fall stronger and wiser. In a small mountain village nestled among towering trees, there was an ancient monastery known for its tranquility and wisdom. Here lived a renowned monk known as Master Jin, respected by everyone for his insights and teachings. Master Jin had a young and eager apprentice named Kai, who was determined to learn the path of wisdom. One day, Kai faced a great failure. He had prepared diligently for months to deliver an important lesson to village children. Hoping to inspire them as Master Jin inspired him, Kai's nerves got the best of him. He stumbled over his words, forgot important parts, and felt his confidence plummet under the silent stares of his young audience. Embarrassed and dejected, Kai fled to the gardens, where he hoped to find peace. Sensing Kai's distress, Master Jin approached him quietly. "Tell me, Kai," he asked gently, "what troubles your heart?" "Master," Kai sighed, "I have failed. Despite all my preparation, I could not deliver my lesson. I feel I am unworthy of teaching." Master Jin nodded thoughtfully, understanding the pain of failure that all must face. "Do you see those bamboo trees over there?" he inquired, pointing to a cluster of slender, elegant shoots swaying in the breeze. Kai nodded, wiping away a tear. "Yes, master, they stand tall and strong." "But did you know," continued Master Jin, That bamboo spends years growing deep roots in the ground before it ever breaks through the surface? It may seem to do nothing for a long time, but its unseen efforts are preparing it for sudden, remarkable growth. When the time is right, it can grow as much as several feet in mere weeks. Kai listened intently. What does this mean, Master? It means, Master Jean said with a gentle smile, that your efforts, your struggles, are not in vain. They are the roots you are growing. Failure is simply part of the growth process. You may not see it now, but when the time is right, your true abilities will shine. Kai felt a weight lift from his heart. Inspired by the wisdom of the bamboo, he resolved to embrace his failures as part of his journey. He returned to his practice with renewed determination and patience, now understanding that true growth often lies beneath the surface. And so, as the seasons passed, Kai's skills blossomed like the bamboo, tall and strong, nourished by the very failures that once seemed insurmountable. He learned that wisdom comes not from avoiding failure, but from harnessing it to foster growth and resilience.